Ladies and gentlemen, I am Jeremy Fox Miller, and this is Aaron Nix, because I can't remember again which way it goes. And we are
Buy
doing...
this t-shirt. It's great.
Yes, please buy a t-shirt.
WrestlePlug.bigcartel.com. Get in there.
Awesome. That's going to get edited. So we're going to do a Europa League review. That just ended earlier this evening. We're just going to fire it down, go through the games that, people actually care about. Maybe some of them. A couple of the English teams, right? For sure.
Oh, obviously.
So we had FC Azoria Luhansk going up against FC Braga. SC Braga.
I like that. We'll talk about the most important teams. So he starts off with Braga versus Zola.
I'm going through the list of how. Okay.
You've made the list.
Braga won 2-1. Next game we'll talk about is Leicester City and AEK Athens. Leicester with a 2-1 winning.
A 2-1 winning.
Yeah. Jamie Vardy with a penalty in the 18th minute, and Hamza Chowdhury on the 39th. And then AEK picked up a late one. Muammar Tankovic.
He actually had quite a good game, believe it or not. Yeah, I watched the highlights of this. I didn't watch any games in full, so I don't expect anything fantastic from me, ladies and gentlemen. And frankly, who cares? And until Sevilla drop into the Europa League, I don't have any interest. For me, Athens, I was impressed with the stadium. I've been there, massive, whatever. I thought Leicester played reasonably well. Jamie Vardy starting was a bit of a surprise, actually. Fit to start, because now he's had a bit of a problem with his sort of niggling injury at the beginning of this season. You'd expect them to win. They've got the quality. But as we found out tonight, some of the, particularly the British clubs, they laboured to it, and some of them didn't even fucking win when they were supposed to. So, this was 3 points. Leicester were counted. So it's like, if you're Brendan Rodgers, you're looking at this game almost like a kind of tune-up game in a lot of ways. This is an opportunity to get some minutes into players that won't necessarily start in the Premier League, who won't necessarily start in big domestic cup games. And this is an opportunity to do so. We've seen with like Arsenal, for instance, played Dundalk tonight. They're taking it half seriously. It's a classic case of once they get to the knockout stages, you'll notice whether they care that much or not, because the team will ramp itself up. But to be fair to Leicester, they're quite a strong side. Morgan was captain, obviously. Schmeichel in goal. I think Schmeichel was in goal.
Yeah, Schmeichel was in goal. I'm actually kind of surprised that Ayoze Perez didn't play in this game, and they gave Vardy a rest. But hey, Vardy.
Yeah, Vardy played quite well. Obviously, his pace. I will say one thing. I don't think it was a penalty. I don't think they should have got a penalty. This is the big issue for me. Actually, it's nothing really to do with Europa League as it is football as a whole. These penalties are getting ridiculous now. It's just a case of, we assume it's a penalty now. We don't even fucking bother to check half the time. He goes down as soon as the goalkeeper gets near him. You can see he's already going to go down, irregardless. If there is contact, he's minute. The kind of thing where someone might brush you in a corridor. But you wouldn't just someone walked past me and brushed me in a corridor, I wouldn't be like, Jesus Christ, and fucking just launch myself into the floor. It's actually got a bit embarrassing. I don't want to sound like old man River and all that shit, but when I was a little kid, I used to play football down the park all the time. I was a proper British lad, jumpers for goalposts, you go down a local park and you give your mates a good fucking kicking. You'd be slide tacking, you'd be 2-footing your mates for a laugh after school every day. It was funny. It was a laugh, I used to be a right dirty bastard, fucking crafty little elbow in the nostrils, whatever it fucking took to put somebody off. Even in our five-a-side team a few years ago that we had at work, used to be a dirty bunch of bastards. You go and watch five-a-side down at one of the goal pitches, fucking fights breaking out every week, man. And then, at the pinnacle of the sport, I've hurt myself. It's hurt my leg. What the fuck is this? What the fucking hell? Where have all the men gone? in football, especially when they're built like tanks, right? That's even worse. Like Vardy, to be fair, looks a bit like a meth addict, with all due respect. Lovely footballer, fantastic lad from all, but, you know, image-wise, not looking great. You know, looks like he's definitely had a bit too much of the crap pipe. And, you know, Jamie Vardy's having a party, bring your vodka and your Charlie, simple as. But I'm dismayed by it. And then when VAR is just like, oh yeah, that's a definite penalty. Yeah, this is such a European. This is why Americans take the piss, because people, you know, like, what's really funny is if you speak to a European, they're like, oh, American football, that's basically rugby for pufters. No, it isn't. They're totally different sports. They have a totally different collision control, the way they play. Multiple rugby players will actually tell you, especially Martin Johnson, for instance, the captain of the England rugby team that won the 2003 World Cup in rugby, is a humongous Miami Dolphins fan and loves American football and says he wouldn't play it for love nor money because he values his spine. It's as simple as that, you know? So I just love it because the English get so, it's like, oh, you know, fucking, that's a push game. They need pads, they need things. And then all of a sudden they watch football and like, he touched him with with his fucking pubic hair. He could have killed him. All of a sudden they get fucking sensitive. Bullshit. Do you know what? Can we get rid of this? Also, a few other things as well. I noticed this during the game. It's fucking winding me up. When people take corners now, back in the old days, you put the fucking ball down, right, in that little fucking circle you got, that little corner, and you fucking kick the ball. Now, all of a sudden, they're trying to strategically move it as far away as possible and closer to the goal. It's like, oh, it's like this much of the ball's touching the line, so therefore it's a legal corner. Like, that makes any fucking difference to a good footballer? It fucking doesn't. Do you know what? That should be an instantaneous red card for being a fucking melt. Simple as. Send them off immediately. If you dive, immediate red card, right? If you fucking, unless you are literally fucking wrestled to the floor and you fucking go down easy, red card. Simple as. If you try and get away with one of these dumb shit corners, red card. If you try and fucking be crafty, and the other thing as well, when goalkeepers pick the ball up and they think, oh, well, I could take the goal kick here, but I'll tell you what, I'll just move it like 4 yards to the left and put it down, and then I can kick it out, and that'll be easier, and that'll waste about a minute. Red card, get the fuck off my field. Pisses me off. All this time wasting, get rid of it. And then it wouldn't matter if VAR interjected, because you'd save yourself about 10 minutes right there. It's a fucking, honestly, I love football, I do. But I'll tell you what, some of these games really expose how fucking pathetic and lightweight these footballers are. And they're trained to do it as soon as they get in the box. And Vardy, you could see it. Vardy is zoned in. He knows as soon as he goes, he's got no interest in actually scoring a goal. He knows full well as he's going wide. Yeah, exactly. Oh, as soon as that goalkeeper so much as breathes on me, I am going to go full Tom Daley and get myself a silver medal in a 10-metre diving platform, mate. I am away. It's fucking embarrassing. You are a grown man. Stay on your fucking feet and try and play football, you fucking melt. Unacceptable. And I see it all the time. And what makes it worse is the commentators as well for BT. And BT probably won't ever watch this, but in case they do, you're all a bunch of fucking melts. You piss me off. Sky Sports do this as well. Oh, well, you know, they have some fucking Scot there, right, who when he played, you know, have like John Collins or fucking whoever. And when they played, it was a case of literally you could shove a haggis up somebody's arsehole and you still wouldn't even get a yellow card for it. And yet, all of a sudden, he's like, oh, well, you know, he's definitely made contact, so he's probably on the floor. Like, he's properly been murdered. That's what's happened there. Like, no, actually, he hasn't been murdered. He's barely even tickled his undercarriage, but yet he's on the floor acting as if he's been shot by Dieter Weber from Rainbow Six. Pull your thumb out, mate. Football has become a right fucking melts game. It fucking infuriates me. Bring back the real football, bruv. The funny thing is, I know I'm going to sound like classic lower league fan because I support Lincoln who are in League One, but I'll tell you what, if you fucking dive like that in League One, like, fuck me, some of these players will come over to you and stamp on your forehead for the privilege of it. It's fucking embarrassing. Fucking embarrassing. You are a grown man. That being said, Leicester, decent result, 2-1. Well done, Leicester.
Yes. Next game we have was Celtic and Lille.
Good game.
This was a 2-2 draw, but Lille should have had 3, but a beautiful save on a Jonathan David penalty.
Yeah, and I should also point out that Celtic actually were very commanding. In the first half, they were, what was it, El Yassini, I think his name is, the Middle Eastern striker / midfielder.
Yeah, El Yassini.
El Yacini was fucking fantastic. It was the El Yacini show in the first half. Brilliant. I bought a ticket just to see this geezer. He was rinsing anus. Got himself a brace. Fantastic. All over the field. Emmanuel Frimpong actually plays for Celtic now, which I had no idea about. Good game from him as well. In their game against AC Milan, you could tell that they were a little bit overwhelmed by the quality of football. And of course they are, because they're Scottish. And, no offence, but the Scottish League sucks a massive amount of dongle balls. It's terrible, isn't it? Like, it's Rangers and Celtic. And then my team's Kilmarnock, just because that's where a lot of my family are from. That's why I can do a half-decent Scottish accent, I suppose.
Oh.
But I'll leave you lot to decide that. But you want the British teams to do well, per rule. That's very much a British thing. You won't understand this because you're a Yank. But obviously, so you don't know anything about proper football. MLS,
no,
man.
of course not.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Let me know when DC United fucking start rocking up in the Champions League, and then we'll start fucking paying attention, won't we? Jesus Christ. Ultimately, particularly if you're a British football fan, as a club fan, you tend to hate everyone else, but there's a little part of you subconsciously that always wants them to do well, because it's like, I'm British and I hate Italians and I hate the French and I hate the Germans and I hate everybody. Portuguese can fuck off and I hate all of the Europeans except for England. Go on, England. Go on, England. But it's very much that kind of thing. And, even with Scottish teams, you want them to do well. You want Celtic to make a good fist of it. I don't want them to just get, bummed every week. I want them to put in a decent effort, and a 2-2 draw with Lille is not a bad result, particularly away from home. They put in a good account of themselves. It's a shame, really, because once, right at the back end of the first half, once Lille kind of started pushing back into the game, they started to overwhelm Celtic a little bit. I think Celtic basically blew themselves up after the first half, and they were really kind of holding on for the rest of the game. But El Yacini looks like a real talent, actually. And it's always a threat. If you start playing well enough, particularly if you play for a team like Celtic or Rangers or Aberdeen or Dundalk, or whoever it might be, you're going to get snapped up eventually. So don't play too well, mate, otherwise you might find yourself earning more money.
Yeah. Jonathan Ikone scored in this game, and he was looked at for Liverpool. And, oh, boy, does Liverpool wish they had him right now.
Oh, yeah, because they're really struggling after they really laboured to the title last season, didn't they? Yeah, my heart bleeds for them. I'll tell you who could do with that. Chelsea. They would play like that.
We've got our people. We don't need Jonathan.
We've got our people. You think that team's good enough to win the title, do you? You think Chelsea's
our defense? No, not with our defense.
Defense? Hey, man.
Defense.
Defense. Mate, your defenders, fucking hell, barely passable for the league. That team ain't getting nowhere near a title. Behave yourself. Be lucky if you win the league cup.
Next game was AC Milan and Spartak Prague. Milan went over 3-0. Zlatan Ibrahimovic missed a penalty.
Yeah, but he don't give a shit, does he? He don't care about anyone but himself. Have you never seen Zlatan score? Fucking talk. Have you ever seen him in a fucking interview? Jesus.
It is his third penalty missed in his last 5 attempts.
Yeah.
But he's getting old, so, I mean, you can't really...
Also, you should see the size of his house. I don't think he gives a shit, bruv. He's got a house the size of most people's fucking countries. I don't think he gives a fuck, to be honest. He's rich. He's got a massive dick. He's banging every Swedish model you can imagine. He don't give a fuck. And he's still playing better than most people in Italy as well.
Exactly. Next game was Maccabi Tel Aviv going over Sivasspor 2-1. Sivasspor had Samba Kamara sent off on a red card. A second yellow.
Samba the other day, mate. You need to relax yourself. Too aggressive. That's his problem.
Right. Next one was Villarreal against FK Karabag.
This is a heartbreaker, this one, mate. Oh, I can't believe it. We had him. We almost had him. As everybody will know, I mean, believe it or not, right behind me is the beautiful home of FC Karabag for 5p Bag for Life. And I thought they made a good account of themselves against the Spanish gigantes that are Villarreal. They're putting a shift. There's still an opportunity there. I still feel like we've got an opportunity to win the Europa League. It's going to be tough, but If anyone can do it, it's those carrier bags for life, mate. It doesn't matter how much fucking shit you put in them, they just keep coming back. They're not biodegradable in the slightest. Those things will last forever. We're not going away anytime soon.
I do like that for Villarreal, Paco Alcácer got a brace. He did really well for Dortmund last year, and then he went back to his home club, which is kind of odd that, Villarreal brought him back and Dortmund didn't try to fight harder to keep him.
I mean, if you're Dortmund, you're looking at better players, and ultimately, if you can afford to let him go to, Villarreal was the place that, he was going to land most. I can't imagine he must have been that well regarded, because Villarreal are very much,
Yeah.
I mean, they may be best for them top 6, top 7 if they're lucky, but they're not going to push for a Champions League place anytime soon. Villarreal actually is a place I've been. Beautiful. Tiny little place. Their ground, when I went, only had 17,000 seats. So really tiny. Yeah, it's tiny. Absolutely tiny.
Wow.
And, people remember back in 2006, they made the Champions League semi-finals and lost out to Arsenal. And it was, it's Villarreal is just an awesome place to go. It really is. I went there for a Spanish league tie, and it's just great. It's a lovely little place, tiny little place as well. And the thing about Villarreal is they've always been a very small club that's overachieved. It's why a lot of people support them. It's why people like teams like Sevilla as well, Granada, all those kind of clubs. They come from a very small, very humble background, and yet they achieve great things because of the heart and the spirit that's there. So, and also, it's not easy to go to FK Carrier Bag and get a result. Just not.
Indeed. LSK Linz ended up beating Ludogorets 4-3.
The Bulgarian might of Ludogorets.
Yes.
Do you know how I know Ludogorets? Because I'm pretty sure I put a crafty couple of quid on them in a bet a few times. They're a good one to bet when they're playing in the Bulgarian league. They very rarely lose. From all accounts, judging by the highlights, this looks like one of the best ties. 4-3, exciting, 7-goal thriller, fantastic stuff.
Manu for Ludogorets got a hat trick in this game. That's
keeping himself busy, and he still lost.
And they still lost, right?
Yeah.
Next one was the biggest, probably the shock of the day: Royal Antwerp and Tottenham. And Royal Antwerp.
Guess which game I spent most of my time paying attention to? It was this one. I was very amused. So, do you know what, right? I'm going to tear Tottenham asunder. Because I'll tell you what, if Arsenal or Chelsea or anyone else had maybe not Chelsea because, the fucking Russian manager will off anybody who says anything bad about them. But ultimately,
sorry, Roman.
If Tottenham, right, Tottenham, they get a pass for this because it's Tottenham, innit? Oh, it's Jose Mourinho. They spend loads of money, so we don't mind. Apparently, if you spend shitloads of money and you make an arse of yourself, nobody cares. But if, like Arsenal, you don't spend nearly as much money and make an arse of yourself, everybody's like, unlucky Arsenal. Because, you know why? Because we're used to Tottenham being a bunch of dirty losers. That's what we're used to. So we just let them get off with it. But that's a team, they had Bale in the side. They had Vicinius in the side. They started a very strong lineup. They brought Kane and Son off the bench and couldn't get a goal against Royal Antwerp. Oh, excuse me, the powerhouse that is Royal Antwerp. Although I will say one thing, have not lost a home game in all competitions in 14 months. Very impressive.
That is very impressive.
And I'll tell you what, they should have won this game by more than one as well. They had the better opportunities. They were the better footballing side. Ben Davies slipped on his arse, all very Steven Gerrard Demba-Ba-esque, which I found very amusing. And then the commentators as well, desperate to find an excuse. Oh, well, I feel like Ben Davies was fouled in the build-up to this. No, he fucking wasn't. He fell over like the tart he is. He fell over like a tart. And he got done like a fucking prostitute for $10 on the streets of Yorkshire, bro. You got done a treat, mate. The Yorkshire Ripper would have had a field day. Absolutely fantastic performance by the better team. And I love the fact, do you see the final whistle? The Antwerp players and management are fucking celebrating like they won the Champions League. I thought that's fantastic because it means something to them.
That's a big win.
Tottenham turned up and they couldn't give a shit. They disrespected Royal Antwerp. They didn't play Royal Antwerp, right? Okay, so, some of these players that are in there, admittedly not high profile, a couple of them have played sort of, ex-Premier League, Hull City, those kind of things. but
Mhm.
they're players that knew what to expect, and they weren't willing to give up their home record without a fight. And in the end, they actually maintained it. Fantastic. They leapfrog Spurs into the first place in the group. Not that it really fucking matters at this point. And you know what? It's just fun. It's just fun to see Spurs lose, and it's fun to see Mourinho and his sour puss fucking gooseberry face. You know, he's no longer the special one. He's just a special needs one. I'm bored of it. I'm bored of Tottenham. I'm bored of their fucking fans acting as if they're. Do you know what, right? You are not fucking obligated to win titles. You still have to fucking earn them. And Tottenham don't get that. They just don't. And all I ever hear about, Arsenal laboured to a 2-1 win against Rapid Vienna last week. They must be shit. Tottenham lost to Royal Antwerp. Yes, well, there's an excuse for that. No, there isn't an excuse. They're fucking useless, and they lost 1-0 to Royal Antwerp. Swallow it. Take it. Fuck off, Mourinho. Nobody cares.
And they had Dele Alli and Gareth Bale in its side.
I mean, Dele Alli's a little bitch. Sorry, but he's a little prick. He's like a Poundland version of fucking Neymar, mate.
Ooh. That's
They deserve to lose. They were not.
Yeah.
They
played
by
like
a
shit.
better team.
Yeah,
They
they
were
played like
beaten
shit.
by a better team. Still, they're better than Chelsea, so it's not happening.
Oh, fuck off. CSKA Moscow and Dynamo Zagreb in a 0-0 draw.
I bet that was a fucking thriller, wasn't it? Jesus.
Wolf, yes. Wolfsberger. Not Wolfsburg, Wolfsburg.
Yeah, we established this last time around.
They won 4-0 or 4-1 to Feyenoord.
That's a good result.
Yes.
They beat
win.
Feyenoord 4-1, is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to translate, man. That's what you need.
Next game was Hoffenheim beating Ghent 4-1. Ghent coming off of their big
what did I fucking tell you?
Win.
What did I tell you? Hoffenheim, mate. No, Sessegnon's in town.
Sessignon didn't play.
No, he didn't have to play. They're that good. Just saying. We all know how good Hoffenheim are, mate.
Right. Red Star Belgrade over
most hostile place in Europe.
Over Liberec 5-1.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
They didn't hang around in that one, did they?
No, not at all.
Red Star Belgrade have one of the most hostile home fan bases you've ever seen. Go on YouTube and type in Red Star Belgrade Ultras. Nutters. Lunatics. Yeah. They scare the shite out of everyone.
Roma and CSKA Sofia went to a 0-0 draw.
That is a little bit of a surprise. You'd expect CSKA Sofia to do quite well, particularly with her female charms. You think she might be able to work her way around a load of Romans, but
Roma had 62% possession to CSKA's 38. They had 21 shots, 6 on goal to CSKA's 11 and 4.
That's not bad. 11 and 4 up against Roma. Ultimately, this is why stats in football don't necessarily mean as much. I know as an American, you're big on stats, particularly in baseball, where stats are very important. Numbers are very important. They like it in American football as well. And I'm very fascinated by numbers, which is one of the big attractions for me for American sports. But ultimately, in football, particularly European football, it's not necessarily indicative. For instance, a good example, Fulham had a tremendous amount of possession when they lost to Crystal Palace on the weekend because Crystal Palace play a counter-attacking side. They set themselves up. They said, we're going to soak up pressure, we're going to lure them in, and then boom, smack them in the chin when they're not looking. And that's what, it's down to tactics at the end of the day. Just because Sofia didn't have as much possession, you saw there, they still only had, they had 4 shots on target to Roma's 6. And ultimately, this is a little tip for anyone out there who likes to gamble quite a lot. If you're on Bet365 or whatever it may be, and you're doing some in-play, just because the teams had loads of fucking shots on goal doesn't mean they're good shots. They could have been P-rollers. They could have, anything counts as a shot on target if it's on target, literally.
Right.
And you know what? So they could have been a scuff, could have been a fucking wayward header here and there that's just landed in the keeper's arms. Doesn't mean anything. Roma probably took their opponents lightly and just didn't want to turn up for the game. And ultimately, if you're Roma, you're looking to climb the ranks of Serie A. You don't really give a shit if you're in the Europa League or not.
Yeah. CFR Cluj and Young Boys went to a 1-1 draw.
I cannot believe that the Young Boys couldn't penetrate the clunge. Unbelievable. I was expecting more from the Young Boys, When you think about the Young Boys' history, they're a strong, virile unit of men. Young boys, young men. and they couldn't break down the clunge. I think that's very disappointing. You would think of all the teams that would go together, Young Boys and Clunge would be the perfect combination. Sounds like your perfect weekend in Ibiza to me, bro.
Arsenal 3-0 over Dundalk.
Yeah, that must have been a real fucking hard side for Mikel Arteta. I watched the highlights of that. Arsenal were in cruise control for the majority of that game. They
Yeah.
never got out. They didn't need to get out of second gear. Dundalk, right? It's very nice that they're in here. I'll tell you what, though. Did you see the fantastic stat for this? Dundalk became the first team in the history of the Europa League in its current format to go an entire game without committing a single foul. Not one.
Wow.
Which is an amazing stat. And that shows you the credit. And can I just say, let's show some love for that, because so many of these teams would turn up and try and kick lumps out of them and try and stop them playing football. And Dundalk were like, you know what, we're just going to turn up, we're going to try and play our game of football, and if we lose, we lose. What respect, like that takes, and I don't think people realise how fucking hard that is, because literally, especially when you're playing a Premier League team who are programmed to dive at every possible opportunity, that's actually a massive fucking achievement. I'm well impressed. I mean, ultimately, they didn't have much of the ball. So, but if anything, that probably makes it a bigger achievement. Because if you haven't got the ball, what are you doing? You're chasing everyone around. You're probably getting gassed. You're trying to trip players up because you're fed up with chasing them all around the park. Not from Dundalk. Luck of the Irish, mate. Gotta love that. They're not going anywhere, but I respect that. And it's lovely. Do you know what? That was the first time also in history, in their entire club's history, that Arsenal had played a team from the Republic of Ireland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, Republic of Ireland has never had a very good heritage in terms of club football. International-wise, they've got a little bit of history there. They've actually been a bit of an upset, got to a World Cup quarter-final before, knockout stages and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, as far as club football, nobody really gives a toss.
Right.
It's a rugby country.
Yes, absolutely.
Mold.
Absolutely. Mold or Molda. Went over Rapid Vienna 1-0.
That's a bit of a. I can't wait for Arsenal to play Mold. There's mold up the arse. Let's give us so much. It's honestly the Europa League, right? I'm not going to take this seriously until we get to the knockout stages. So ultimately, all you're going to get is a load of terrible puns and jokes. And the fact that there's a team called Mold, there's a team called Carrier Bag, Rapid Vienna, ain't nothing rapid about them. If anything, it's second gear Vienna. Fucking, they barely get out of fucking first. Never mind anything else. Like, rapid my arse. My arse actually is more rapid, to be fair, particularly if I've had too many energy drinks. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, sorry. I thought we were talking about Wrens then. I mean, the runs. Wait, no. Loads of these jokes. They're all shit. Great. I'm such an old man.
Slavia Prague beating Bayern Leverkusen 1-0.
Slavia Prague, right? Sounds like I've been there as well. Lovely place. No, I haven't. I've seen them play though quite a few times in England. Weirdly enough, there was this like a 5-year period where Arsenal and Chelsea and everyone else seemed to draw Slavia Prague every fucking season. I have no idea why. But Slavia Prague to me sounds like a foreign disease of some sort. Like it sounds like something that somebody abroad was, stop being a Slavia Prague. Like, like you just like you're dribbling over your food or something. You haven't got any decent table manners because you're a Slavia Prague. So, or maybe that's Slobodan Milosevic or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. All these. I swear you could just make some names up. They'd be
right. Leverkusen did lose Karim Bellarabi to a straight red. So that's a big loss for Leverkusen.
I mean, Leverkusen I'm a little bit surprised they're in the Europa League, to be honest. They had a reasonably good season in the Bundesliga last year, but I'm not expecting much out of them. They'll probably get to the knockout stages, but as soon as they run into a team with any strength, they're fucked.
As much as I hate to say this all the time, because I hate to say that a team only hinges on one person, it was Kai Havertz that led Leverkusen to the Europa League. And now he's a Chelsea boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a downgrade.
Fuck you. Next one is Nice going over Hapoel Beer.
It's nice. That's what it is, mate. Hey, Nice. Nice. FC Nice.
FC Nice going over Hapoel Beer.
Hapoel Beard. Hapoel Beer. Come on. Beer versus Nice. What the fuck is this? Fucking hell. Yeah. Like,
Next
there's
one.
some really pompous French geezer right now watching this stream. And he's like, it is Nice, you fucking imbecile. Pronouncing them properly. You baguette munching tosser. Like, who cares? There's a lot of casual racism on this podcast, I've realised.
Right. Just a little bit.
Yeah, Nice. I
Nah.
hope Nice do well, just so I can keep shouting Nice. And ultimately, the second Borat film's out on Amazon Prime right now, so
There
why
you
not?
go. Cheap plug.
I look
Cheap
like
plug.
an extra in Kazakhstan. Cheap plug. What do you mean cheap plug? I don't get any royalties for that. I'm not, just because I've got a foreign appearance doesn't mean I'm automatically friends with Borat. You're half Egyptian, you know Borat, right? Borat's Kazakhstan. Yeah, they're all the same, bro. Don't worry about it. Oh, crash.
Rangers beat Lech Poznan 1-0.
Told you, didn't I? Masters of the Poznan. Remember what did Lech Poznan invent? You don't remember, do you? You weren't listening last time. Twat. Remember what I told you about that thing where all the supporters linked their arms and turned around?
Yeah.
That's Lech Poznan.
That's right.
Yeah, no, good result for Rangers. They're doing really well. Top of the Scottish League, you know, looking quite effective. They won the Old Firm. And, you know, for a team like Rangers and Celtic will take Europe a little bit more seriously than a lot of the teams like, you know, like Arsenal, Chelsea, all those kind of guys. They'll take it a little bit more seriously because for a lot of them, these are the biggest games they'll play all season. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, fair play to Rangers. I'm glad they got a win. I'd like to see a Scottish team have a good run. Not forget, many, many moons ago, well, it certainly feels that way, Rangers got to Europa League final. You know, and they lost to Zenit St. Petersburg when the final was played in Manchester. But it's actually quite a big deal for a Scottish team to get out of the fucking group stages. Never won the knockouts.
For sure. Next one was Benfica over Standard Liège. 3-0.
I really like the look of that group, to be honest. These are teams that I actually do know and respect. Like, and I actually quite like Benfica as a dark horse in this tournament.
Yeah. Granada and PAOK went to a 0-0 draw.
PAOK Salonika.
Salonika.
Which sounds like some underground Eastern European techno ground. It's like, yeah, we're going to see PAOK Salonika tonight. Yeah, PAOK Salonika. Yeah, underground rave with PAOK. Like, fucking great. Like, PAOK Salonika, really? Still remember them fucking getting beaten by Arsenal 4-1 in the Europa League or Cup, whatever it was, many years ago. Yeah, no, Benfica, you know, half decent side. PAOK Salonika, whatever.
We had Omonia Nicosia and PSV Eindhoven, which I honestly think that this should have been a draw, but a cheeky little goal by Daniel Malin to put PSV over.
You sound almost very annoyed that PSV. I like how emotionally invested you are in this match.
I am,
matches
because
you could have been invested in. It's Arminia versus fucking PSV. This is what's got your fucking gander up, mate.
Yeah, this was
in Royal Antwerp, your rivals in fucking London. No, the fact that PSV shafted Arminia in the last minute with a cheeky winner.
Well, because damn it, the Cyprus deserve
the Cyprus, not Cyprus in general.
Cyprus deserves a good showing in the Europa
only
League.
one Cyprus I recognise, man. That's Cyprus Hill, bro. Seen them live. Fucking fantastic, they are.
Fucking A.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think PSV should have been a 1-1 draw, but whatever, it happened.
Yeah, fuck you, PSV. You ruined it for us. Like, we were having a good time until you stuck a fucking win off of Arminia.
Right.
Think about the Cyprus, mate. Think about the Cypriots. How hard it is for them in that lovely hot country with all that lovely food and a high quality of living. You just took that away from them, you pricks. The fucking Dutch, mate. They ruin everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Napoli got a 1-0 win against Real Sociedad.
Napoli, home of the Mafia versus the Real Sociopaths.
They did lose Victor Osimhen
was he whacked by the Mafia at halftime?
He had his second yellow, so he has
his second yellow.
A red.
Really? Thank you for letting me know the rules of soccer, man. I had no clue.
Timio Bakayokos played in this game.
Who played? Tapioca played? What? Who's Tapioca?
Timione Bakayoko.
Timione Tapioca. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently he goes well in bubble tea. I have no idea.
Okay. And then the final game for the Europa League was AZ Alkmaar over Rijeka, 4-1. The Dutch strike again.
Yeah, fun fact, been to Alkmaar. Got very, very, very high. Everyone else was doing coke. And that's only because I didn't want to do cocaine. I'm sorry, I shouldn't really be fucking releasing these details. Yeah, no, Alkmaar.
This is why I put not good for kids on the video.
None of our YouTube content's good for kids. I mean, Jeremy Miller's got 4 kids, although he thinks he's got 3. I mean, he's like Boris Johnson, mate. He just squeezes. He's basically our version of Philip Rivers.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Old Philip Miller Rivers. He's fucking well away, bro. This geezer over here, he's too very old.
Oh, Jesus.
Good. Honestly, someone needs to be sterile.
All right. Well, that was Europa League.
What an impressive set of fixtures, mate. And I can guarantee you I did a hell of a lot of research for this one.
Yeah, you did do a lot of research. You did.
See this t-shirt if you like it. German Suplex. You want to be a little bit cheeky underground, wrestleplug.bigcartel.com, and follow me on Twitter at Aaron Nix Design. I'm also available on Facebook. And also check out WrestlePlugs, the YouTube, and all that nonsense. The more fans we get, the better. So if you like wrestling, follow it. If you don't like wrestling, fuck off.
And then also shoot a like, subscribe, and a comment.
Oh yeah, this thing as well. Yeah, this, what is it?
Sly Fox Sports podcast, boy.
Can we get Sly Fox Sports? Can we get Sly Sports t-shirts that are
once you get more of a following, I will.
Yeah, I want the Sky Sports logo, but with Sly Sports on it, because I think that would fucking trigger my entire. If you're watching my entire, they go fuck yourself. I want to fucking trigger you, little prick. We're gonna be the BWO version of Sky Sports.
Oh my god. All right, fine, but I'm
going to be the Blue Meanie. I'm going to get my big fat tits out, and I'm going to do a little fucking dance for everybody.
I want to wear the short shorts like Big Stevie Cool.
For every 100 fucking subscribers we get on YouTube, I will get my tits out, and I'll do a little fucking jiggle like fucking, what's his name, Blue Meanie. There you go. There you go. I mean, that's worth it enough, isn't it? And if we get to 1,000, I might get my cock out. So there you go. Not that you'll be able to see that anyway. Fucking tiny.
And, you know, sometimes he might pull a disappearing act like he did in the Premier League.
Well, my cock? No, it just goes up inside of me whenever I get scared.
No, you in general. This is so bad. All right, folks. See you later. Have a good night.
Take it easy. Yeah, fuck off.